Most welcome my dear students in the class 12th of English. I am Rashmi, lecturer AD Government Girls Inter College Gorakhpur, and today I am going to start the third lesson of prose. The name of the lesson is The Homecoming by Rabindranath Tagore. Dear students, you must have heard the name of Rabindranath Tagore. He has composed a very great book. The name of the book is Gitanjali, and you must remember that he got the Nobel Prize in the year 1913 for Gitanjali. When I talk about the short story, The Homecoming, here the word home is catchy for you, because when we think about home, what do you think? What kind of thought process come to you? And when you analyze the concept of home, you will find that it is a kind of geographical site where you live. And here the author presents the concept of home in a quite different way. When we think about home, we think that it is made from cement and bricks. But dear children, I must tell you that home is not a concrete thing. It is made from emotions, sentiments and feeling. And here the author has beautifully presented the concept of home. Now, what happens in this story, Homecoming? Let's see here. First of all, we will try to understand the objectives of our study. What are we going to get today? First, to understand the child's psychology. Second, to grasp the theme of the story. Third, to know the meaning of difficult words. Fourth, to analyze the paragraph. And fifth, to recognize the elements of language like structures, vocabulary and pronunciation. So in this way, we have these 5 objectives, and keeping in mind these 5 objectives, we will move ahead for our study. Now, first of all, we will try to understand the entire knowledge about the Rabindranath Tagore. So first of all, I would like to say Rabindranath Tagore was the greatest literary figure of the modern period, and it is a matter of pride that he belonged to our country. Second, birth May 7, 1861, death August 7, 1941, Kolkata. Third, if we look at the major literary works, we find Gitanjali, Chokher Bali, the Postmaster, Gora Kabuliwala, Sadhana and Shishir Kavita, The Home and the World. So these are the major works. Award, as I discussed it before, he got the Nobel Prize in the year 1913. In 1901, Tagore founded an experimental school in rural West Bengal at Shantiniketan. You must have heard the name of Shantiniketan. It is a place where the students got education in the open areas. So still this tradition continues. His writings express his deepest note and feelings of sympathy towards the poor and helpless. So basically he concentrated over the life of poor and the helpless persons, and whatever he wrote, that is totally, the theme is totally based upon that. Now this was all about the author. Now before we start for the story, for the analysis of the paragraph, first of all we will try to understand the lesson at a glance. What is the story all about? The Homecoming is Tagore's best known short story. Homecoming is a tale of 14 years old boy who was a nuisance to his mother. So dear students, when we think about a boy or a girl of 14 years, you must have got the idea of adolescence, the teenage. And when we talk about this 14-year-old guy, he was quite naughty and his mother was quite disturbed with his behavior. He was sent away for studying in Calcutta with his uncle. He used to live in the village. Then his uncle came and he went with him for the study. He missed the meadow, mountain and river of his native village, and he was admitted in Calcutta at a school, but his performance was too poor. He got admission in one of the school of Calcutta, and when he used to go to school, his performance in the school was not satisfactory. It was not good actually, and he answered no questions, so he was beaten badly at school. So now you can imagine about a boy who was beaten daily, who was beaten every day at his school. So what will be the mental condition of that boy? He grew impatient about returning to home and began to ask when the holidays would come. Now he was totally fed up. He wanted to go back. Earlier he had a great yearning to go to Calcutta, but all the circumstances forced him to flee away. So in this way he was waiting anxiously for the holidays. Now this was the lesson at a glance. Now we are going to start our study, and this is the analysis of paragraph 1. Pathik Chakravarti. Here is the boy which we have discussed just now, that there was a boy of 14 years old. So here is the boy, and the name of that boy is Pathik Chakravarti. Was ringleader among the boys of the village. He was the head of the boys, group of boys. So you can imagine it very clearly that there was a group of boys, group of naughty boys, and he was the naughtiest one, and so he was called the ringleader. He decided they should work together to shift the log by main force from its place. Here will be from its place this, and roll it away. So in this way, when we think about Pathik Chakravarti, he was a ringleader. You can say he was the head of the boys. Here we have the head of the boys. Okay, so he decided there was a log, and he called all the boys to shift that log to another place. And what was the purpose of that? He wanted to tease the owner of that log. So in this way they planned, and what happened later? And roll it away. He called the boys that come here, and here it has to be rolled away. Now let's see what happened. Pathik's young brother Makhan. Pathik's young brother, the name of the young brother was Makhan, sauntered up. Sauntered up means appeared. Here it will be appeared, and sat down in front of them, all without a word. Pathik threatened him, but of no use. So when they were planning to shift that log, meanwhile his brother Makhan sauntered up, means he appeared at once. And what did he do? He sat down on that log. So it was a kind of hindrance for the Pathik Chakravarti group, and Pathik Chakravarti tried to threaten his brother, but it was of no use because he threatened like a new philosopher meditating on the futility of games. So in this way it seemed to be that he was a kind of philosopher. So here the conflict starts. Now we have the next paragraph, but before we have these points 3 and 4, he gave the word of command to roll the log and Makhan over together. When he tried to convince Makhan, he threatened Makhan, but it was of no use. Makhan did not shift. So what happened ultimately? The Makhan over together. What did they do? To roll the log and Makhan over together. So ultimately it was decided that the log has to be shifted with Makhan. Makhan heard the order and made it the point of honor to stick on. So Makhan did not move. Stick on. Here is the stick on, means Makhan did not move. He did not move. He was clinging. The boys began to heave at the log with all their might, and with it went Makhan's philosophy, glory and all. So ultimately Pathik decided that he would shift the log with the help of his group, and Makhan, he was quite rigid that he would not move from the log, and ultimately what happened, he wanted to save his glory, his pride, his honor, whatever you can say, his ego. He wanted to satisfy his ego. So in order to that, he did not move. And in this way the boys begin to heave at the heave means to lift someone in one effort, to lift someone in one effort. Now we have seen in this paragraph 1 that there is a boy of 14 years old and he had a brother whose name is Makhan, and both of them have a conflict, and that conflict takes a very grim situation. It converted into a very grim situation, and ultimately what happened that this conflict, this strife converted into the beating. And what happened we will see later. इस पैराग्राफ 1 में हमने देखा कि पथिक चक्रवर्ती 14 साल का एक लड़का है, वह रिंग लीडर यानी सरगना है अपने ग्रुप का, जो अपने ग्रुप को लीड करता है, और उनका उद्देश्य था लकड़ी का एक बड़ा सा पार्ट जो है वो उसको एक स्थान से दूसरे स्थान पर ले जाना चाहते थे, और वो एक शिप का मस्तूल बनाने के लिए रखा गया था। और उस पे मीनवाइल उन्होंने ये जब प्लानिंग की, उसमें उनके भाई माखन आकर के बैठ जाता है, अचानक अपीयर होता है और वो बैठ जाता है, और इस तरह से पथिक चक्रवर्ती को अंत में यह निर्णय लेना पड़ता है कि वह माखन को बैठे हुए ही वो वहाँ से शिफ्ट करेगा। तो इस तरह से इस स्टोरी में माखन को भी अपनी प्रतिष्ठा दांव पर लगी महसूस होती है, उसे लगता है कि वो वहाँ से नहीं हिलेगा, और अल्टीमेटली माखन के साथ ही उस लकड़ी के गट्ठर को वहाँ से हटाया जाता है। नेक्स्ट, नाउ वी हैव पैराग्राफ 2. Makhan rose from Mother Earth blind as fate and screaming like the Furies. Screaming means crying. So Makhan was quite angry and with a full of annoyance. He was quite passionate, and what happened? He came out and wanted to beat. He wanted to beat his brother. He rushed at Pathik and scratched his face, and he made a scar on his face and beat him and kicked him, and then went crying home. Meanwhile, a boat came up, and a middle-aged man with grey hair and dark moustache stepped on shore and asked him where Chakravarti lived. So the situation was quite terse at that time, and meanwhile his uncle, earlier it was unknown to him that the person who was coming was his uncle, and his uncle came with a very grey hair and a dark moustache. He described the appearance of that person, asked him where Chakravarti lived. Meanwhile, a servant came down from the house of Pathik, because there was a conflict, there was a struggle between the Pathik and Makhan. So a servant came down from the house. He took Pathik roughly and carried him kicking and struggling in impotent rage. Impotent, annoying, and rage. There will be not range, raise. So the servant was also quite annoyed, and he took him in a very bad manner. Next we have a fight went on the mother, and mother punished Pathik. Now he was badly beaten by his mother also. The middle-aged man was his mother's brother. Here it is revealed to us that the person who was coming at that time, who asked Pathik about the Chakravartis, he was actually the uncle. The name of the uncle was Bishambhar. The name of the uncle was Bishambhar. So what happened? Bishambhar, who was Bishambhar? Bishambhar was his mother's brother, and he had soon after she had married and leave her husband while he was in Bombay. Actually, Bishambhar wanted to earn money. In order to that, he went to Bombay, and he was unknown to the fact that his sister's husband died. The brother Bishambhar had asked after the education of the two boys. He was told by his sister that Pathik was a perpetual nuisance. He was the perpetual nuisance, means eternal cause of, he was eternal naughty, you can say. In a simple way, he was the constant. Perpetual means constant, the reason of constant annoyance, you can say also. So Bishambhar kindly offered to take Pathik off his sister's hand and educate him in Calcutta with his own children. Pathik and his mother accepted it at once. So Bishambhar offers to Pathik's mother that he wants him to educate, and the education will be in Calcutta with his own children. And Pathik was quite happy to listen to this. Mother accepted, and his mother also accepted it at once, because she wanted to get rid of that child. She was so much fed up with the Pathik that she at once accepted this proposal. So in this way we have the paragraph 2, where we have seen that the conflict between the mother and the son, the conflict between two brothers, and the entry of his maternal uncle, and the proposal to go to Calcutta for education. इस पैराग्राफ 2 में हमने देखा कि माखन और पथिक के बीच में जो लड़ाई हुई वो घर तक पहुंची। घर पे पथिक की माता ने उनको बहुत डांटा, और इसी बीच उनके मामा का प्रवेश होता है। मामा बॉम्बे से आए थे, वो वहाँ पे अपनी आजीविका कमाने के लिए गए हुए थे। वो इस बात से बिल्कुल अनभिज्ञ थे कि उन्हें उनके पथिक के पिता की मृत्यु हो चुकी है, और वो देख रहे थे कि उनकी बहन बहुत परेशान है और इस तरह से वो अपनी बहन के सामने एक प्रस्ताव रखते हैं पथिक को शिक्षित करने के लिए कलकत्ता में, और उनकी बहन यानी कि पथिक की माता उसको तुरंत स्वीकार कर लेती हैं। नेक्स्ट वी हैव पैराग्राफ 3rd. It was an immense relief to the mother to get rid of Pathik, as we have discussed it now, that it was a kind of opportunity for the Pathik mothers, that she wanted to get rid of that child, and he was on pins and needles all day long with excitement and lay awake most of the night. So here we have the word pins and needles. It means a kind of tingling sensation. So all day long he could not sleep well. He was so excited to go to Calcutta. He bequeathed to Makhan in perpetuity his fishing rod, his big kite and his marbles. He was so excited that he wanted to bequeath, means he in a will. He wanted to give all the things which was very near and dear to him. He wanted to give all the things to his brother Makhan, and he was the brother that they had a very great conflict just few days before. Now, indeed, at this time of departure, his generosity towards Makhan was unbounded. Very important thing we can here analyze, dear children, that earlier we found that the Pathik and Makhan were behaving like an enemy. The moment he listened to this news that he had to go to Calcutta, he was so excited that he wanted to give all the things, and he found that there was a kind of emergence of unbound love for the Makhan. It happens with us also. When we live with someone, with our family members, we don't understand the value of them, we don't understand the worth of them, and when we find that we are going to separate, we understand the value and we find that the love automatically comes out. So this kind of thing we find here. When they reached Calcutta, Pathik's aunt was by no means pleased with this unnecessary addition. This is addition, not addiction, to her family. When he reached Calcutta, his aunt was not very much pleased, because she was already having 2 children, and when she found the village boy in form of Pathik, she was quite annoyed. She was not ready to take the responsibility of Pathik. Next we have, in this world of human affairs, there is no worse nuisance than a boy at the age of 14. He is neither ornamental nor useful. Here he portrays the picture of adolescence. When we talk about a 14 years old boy, he is neither ornamental nor useful, means we are not in a situation to treat him like a little boy. We don't pour our entire affection towards him, and nor useful. He is not considered to be a very grown up person. So in this way, his state, his position at this point of time is quite confusing, and he don't find exact place for his existence. It is easy to excuse the shortcomings of early childhood, but it's hard to tolerate even unavoidable lapses in a boy of 14. If the boy is behaving like a child, we don't accept, we say that is quite childish, and if he behaves like grown up, then we don't accept, we say that he is beyond his age. So in this way his position is not decided in this society, It is at this very age when in his heart of hearts a young lad most carves for recognition, recognize and love becomes, here will be capital I, love becomes a devoted slave of anyone who shows him consideration. So in this tough situation, in this terse situation, what happens that wherever that kind of boy, wherever he gets love, affection and you can say concentration also, he just moves in that direction. So this age is quite critical and crucial too. So what with scolding and chiding, he becomes very much like a stray dog that has lost its master. Dear children, you must notice this thing that earlier we discussed about Pathik. He was a ringleader and now his condition has become a stray dog. So pathetic condition we get here, that the boy ringleader from stray dog. In this way we find that the condition of Pathik is quite grim. इस पैराग्राफ में हम लोगों ने देखा कि पथिक चक्रवर्ती जो है वो कोलकाता पहुंच चुका है। वहाँ उसकी आंट उसकी बहुत सहयोगी नहीं रहती हैं, बहुत स्वागत नहीं करती, और क्योंकि ऑलरेडी उनके पास 2 बच्चे होते हैं और तीसरे को वो स्वीकार करने में सक्षम नहीं पाती हैं। और इस तरह से जो किशोरावस्था को इसमें बहुत अच्छे से दिखलाया गया कि किशोरावस्था एक ऐसी अवस्था है जिसमें हम उस बच्चे को ना ही बच्चा समझते हैं और ना ही बड़ों में उसकी गिनती कर पाते हैं। वो अपने अस्तित्व को ढूंढने लगता है। ऐसी सिचुएशन में जहाँ भी उसे प्यार मिलता है, जहाँ भी उसे स्नेह मिलता है, जहाँ भी उस पर ध्यान दिया जाता है, वो उस दिशा में मुड़ जाता है। इस तरह से रिंग लीडर जैसा कि वो बच्चा था, लगातार डांट और चिढ़ाने से उसकी कंडीशन एक लावारिस कुत्ते की तरह हो जाती है जिसने अपने मास्टर को, अपने मालिक को खो दिया हो। नाउ वी हैव पैराग्राफ 4th। The cramped atmosphere of neglect in his house, it's oppressed Pathik so much that he could hardly breathe. Now it was quite difficult for Pathik to breathe and he wanted to go away from Calcutta. He wanted to go out into the open country and fill his lungs and breathe freely. A kind of physical love like that of animals, a longing to be in the presence of one who is loved, an inexpressible wistfulness. Wistfulness means pensive, melancholic state. Future during absence, a silent cry of the inmost heart for the mother. Here he longs too much for the love of his mother. And what happens next? Like the lowing of calf in the twilight, his love, which was almost an animal instinct, agitated the shy, nervous, lean, uncouth and ugly boy. So in this way we find that the personality of Pathik is quite changed. Now he is considered to be shy, nervous, so a very dull kind of person comes out from the Pathik Chakravarti character. There was no more backward boy in the whole school than Pathik. He gaped and remained silent when the teacher asked him question, and like an overladen ass patiently suffered all the blows that came down on his back. He was not in a condition to revolt. He was not in a condition to go against. Now his condition was like overladen ass. So how pathetic his condition is. One day he summoned up all his courage and asked his uncle, "Uncle, when can I go home?" So here he wants to go back. इस पैराग्राफ में हम लोगों ने देखा कि पथिक चक्रवर्ती जो है वो पूरी तरह से टूट गया है, वो एक खुली हवा में सांस लेना चाहता है और इस तरह से उसकी कंडीशन जो है वो बहुत ही खराब हो चुकी है. We have paragraph 5th. Pathik had a bad headache with a fit of shivering. His one great fear was that he would be a nuisance to his aunt. Pathik was suffering from fever. Now his condition was quite grim. The next morning Pathik was nowhere to be seen. All searches in the neighborhood proved futile. At last Bishambar asked help from the police. So his aunt scolded him very badly, and at the end of the day 2 constables brought out Pathik in their arms and placed him before Bishambar. So again the 2 constables helped Bishambar and they found the Pathik. When his wife saw him, she exclaimed, "What a heap of trouble this boy had given us. Hadn't you better send him home?" His aunt was quite fed up with him, and she said ultimately that she wanted to back him. Bishambar brought in a doctor. Pathik opened his eyes, flushed with fever, and looked up to the ceiling and said vacantly, "Uncle, have the holidays come yet? May I go home?" Again he told the same thing, that he wanted to go home. इसमें पथिक को बहुत बुखार होता है और वो वापस अपने घर जाने की इच्छा व्यक्त करता है. In paragraph 6, the next day Pathik became conscious for a short time. He turned his eyes about the room as if expecting someone to come. Actually he was expecting his mother to come. Later in a day, Pathik's mother burst into the room like a whirlwind, like a strong circular wind, and began to toss from side to side and moan and cry in a loud voice. So here we have the word moan. Moan means crying due to mental or physical suffering. Cry in a loud voice. Pathik very slowly turned his head and without seeing anybody said, "Mother, the holidays have come." Now we will analyze it, that this holiday, this home is the eternal home, because ultimately it is not clear in the story. Now we have the theme. After going through the entire paragraph, we find out certain themes. The first, the economic prospects in urban centers. You see that Bishambar, his uncle, he went to Bombay in order to earn his livelihood, and the same condition is revived with the Pathiks also, because he was supposed to be the only breadwinner in his family. That's why his uncle said him to, he wanted him to bring with him Calcutta. Now, narrow acceptability of urban education. Here we see that the Pathik Chakravarti was a village boy and he was the ringleader there, but when he came to Calcutta, he was called the backward boy, and he was called the S, overladen S. So here we find that teachers also, they did not try to understand the mentality of the Pathik, and they did not treat him in a very good manner. Vivid analysis of adolescence. He has portrayed the picture of adolescence in a very beautiful and vivid manner. The contrast between city life and country life. We find in this book that there is a green lush of meadow and banks. On the other hand, we find the city life in form of concrete jungles. So here there is a contrast between city life and country life. Now there is questions for evaluation. Who is the ringleader among the boys of the village? Naturally the answer will be the Pathik Chakravarti is the ringleader among the boys of the village. Why was Pathik not welcomed by his aunt? Because he was in a addition, and already she was having 2 children. Who sat down on the log? Makhan sat down on the log. Why did Bishambar call Pathik's mother to Kolkata? Because Pathik was suffering from fever and he wanted to go back. Homework. Explain with reference to the context the following: the cramped to the to be back there. You have to write reference, context and explanation. The second question, have you ever felt homesickness? Write it in your own words. You have to write your own emotions. The last section is the message. The love of a mother always persists either in form of pampering or scolding. Earlier we found that the mother scolded very much, and the last we found that she was in a great love with her son. The other has portrayed the picture of adolescence. The author has portrayed the picture of adolescence through the character of Pathik. It's the age of confusion, it's the age of physical, moral and psychological changes. However, we hate our home for any reasons, but it seems to be the best place ultimately. So, home is the place where we seek comfort, we get rest, we get emotional satisfaction. So, in this way, the home has been portrayed, the importance of home has been portrayed very beautifully. Now, students, we have completed our chapter. Again, I'll meet with next lesson. Till then, have a great time. Keep on learning. Thank you very much.